Good evening and welcome to Hononegah High School here in Rockton, Illinois. Snow has started falling here on the first day of December as we've got some basketball action between two NIC-10 schools here on Clutch Sports Media 815. Tonight's broadcast is presented by Busy Beaver Tree Care. For exceptional tree services second to none, Busy Beaver Tree Care is your best option. We're a local family-owned and operated business founded in 2003. We're not satisfied until you are. Tonight's game is also brought to you in part by Waterside Financial Advisors. Waterside Financial Advisors is teaming up with the Guilford Vikings to bring you more than just a game. Get ready to shoot for your goals as they provide independent financial guidance for the life you want to live. Elevate your game both on and off the court with reliable financial guidance from Waterside Financial Advisors. Go Vikings! As well as by Brian Falk State Farm. Call Brian at 815-398-2552. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Brian Botcher Realty. With Exit Realty, whether you want to buy or sell, Brian works hard for his clients in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Call 815-378-2170 today. And by Seiler Financial, our family helping your family. Listen to 1440 WROK every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for Navigating Retirement with Drew Seiler. And by the Rockford Lightning, Rockford's first semi-pro women's basketball team. Stay up to date on team news on their Instagram and Facebook feeds. And by D1 Training Rockford. Try their Rockford facility for free. Call 815-569-5630 to learn more. Train different with D1. And by 9 Iron Belvedere. Enjoy a virtual golfing experience all winter long for solo practice sessions, business gatherings, or date night. 9 Iron. Golf, game, gather. Oh, Tyler, let's take a look at some of the teams here tonight. We've got the Guilford Vikings squaring off against the Hononegah Indians. And let's start with those Vikings. The road squad find themselves at 3-2 early this season, including a 4-point road conference victory over Jefferson on Wednesday. Guilford finds itself against another tough opponent on the road here in week 1 of conference play as the reigning conference champions look to get off to another hot start this season. Tyler?
The Guilford Vikings started conference play on the right foot with that big win against a tough Jefferson opponent. They're looking to carry that momentum through this game and beyond in hopes of another NIC-10 championship.
As for Hononegah, the Indians also find themselves with an early conference road victory over the Harlem Huskies on Wednesday as they come in tonight to square off against one of the presumptive favorites in the NIC-10. The Indians had a rough start a season ago. They started off conference play 1-5, but played 500 ball in conference the rest of the way. They were able to finish 7-11, good for a 6th place finish in the conference. With experience and talented seniors on the squad, they look to make a possible conference run this season.
The Indians have a chance to start conference play 2-0 tonight with a victory. An early season statement is what may be on the minds of these Hononegah players.
We're about 4.5 minutes away from tip-off as we're getting squared away for our first broadcast of the season here on Clutch Sports Media 815. Again, Tyler Fowler on the color, Trevor Larson, I am your play-by-play here tonight. Tyler, let's talk a little bit more about these Guilford Vikings, coming off a conference victory last season, their first since 2000, as well as 15 conference victories, the most in school history. They returned Malachi Johnson, one of 3 players returning that finished as a first-team all-conference player last season. In addition to him, they returned 4 starters from last year's conference champion squad.
Yeah, head coach Chris Dixon really has this program on the right tracks. Like you said, it's been since 2000 since they've been on top of the conference. And in 22-23 season, they found themselves there. So if they're able to keep it up, they definitely can be there at the end of the season.
And for Hononegah, you know, if you followed us for the football season, they had a lot of talented football stars. And we'll see a couple of those guys tonight, headlined by Isaiah Hui, who one of the other 3 players in conference that's returning as a starter who finished first team all-conference. So we'll see if he can put up some points here tonight. So we'll step away for just a moment and get you set for a tip about 3 minutes away here at Hononegah High School.
I think one of the special things about D1 is it's not about D1's goal. It's about your goal. Wherever you're at, whatever that goal is, maybe it's to make the high school team, maybe it's to lose 20 pounds, whatever it is, you show up, you tell us your goal, and let us help you get there. One of the themes at D1 is to level up. No matter where you are, our heart is to help you take the next step. What would be your goal? Why do you show up to train?
Personally, I would like to play football.
How can you get 1% better today?
Just beat the person next to me, be myself every day.
When you show up here, you have that mindset of, hey, I got a goal, I'm going to embrace the grind, and I would rather experience the pain of discipline than the pain of regret. So what is D1 5-star training? Number 1, it starts with a dynamic warm-up. Getting our body in the position, in the place we need it so that we can perform, which is number 2. Because performance for an athlete is king. But our effort is 90% or more of whatever exercise we were doing. Number 3 is strength. Then we get to really get into the weight room and focus on the strength. And number 4 is core and conditioning. For me, conditioning is not a lot about what you can do. It's about that place that you're willing to go. You're willing to push yourself, and then we finish with a cool down. So that's our 5-star workout here at D1. We believe it's proven. We believe it works. We believe it'll also work for you. So don't be afraid of showing up, and let us help you take the next steps. D1!
So, Tyler, we're about a minute away from tip-off here tonight. Glad to have you back for a second season of basketball here on Clutch Sports Media 815. Had a great football season this year, including a number of games from these Indians. What are you looking forward to as this basketball season gets started?
I think that the matchups are definitely what I'm looking for. I mean, most schools in this area have talent of some sort, and you know, having those top-tier players play against each other is what I'm looking forward to the most this season.
Got some pre-game festivities about to get started here. We'll keep it live. 30 seconds on the clock. I'm sure we're going to hear a great rendition of the school's fight song from this Hononegah High School marching band, one of the best in conference for certain. Got a good number of fans in the stadium here for the home opener for the Indians, facing off against one of, if not the toughest opponent in the conference. Mentioned it at the top, Guilford, the reigning conference champions, led by Malachi Johnson and their suite of returning starters. Should be an exciting basketball season. We're going to have plenty of teams on the broadcast this season. See a number of teams from both the NIC-10 and Big Northern. As we're going to have a bit of pregame from the cheerleading and dance squad for Hononegah. Good pregame festivities, Tyler, to get this crowd excited as we're going to have the school song and the national anthem here.
Ladies and gentlemen, remain standing and move your hats. The Hononegah Band pays tribute to America with playing our national anthem.
Very good rendition of our country's national anthem. Tyler, as we get set for tip-off here tonight, this Hononegah squad is going to have a tough uphill challenge against the Guilford Vikings. What do the home squad have to do? They're going to take out the reigning conference champions from a season ago.
I think it comes down to stopping Malachi Johnson, one of the top players in the NIC-10, and this year could very well be the NIC-10 MVP. So if they're able to limit his production offensively, I think they're going to be able to stay relatively close in this game.
And for the Vikings, as you mentioned, they've got a lot of talent. We saw Malachi Johnson have a couple of really big games for us last season when we had the Guilford Vikings on the broadcast. Like we mentioned, 4 returning starters, that's very uncommon in high school, especially so when you've got a squad that won the conference championship a season ago. This Viking squad has their sights set on the conference championship for sure. We've got to think their aspirations are a little bit higher. Regionals, sectionals, perhaps even state.
This team has a chance to make a very deep run in state. They just have to put it all together and stay healthy for the most part. If they're able to do that, then, the sky's the limit for this team who returns a lot of valuable experience. So,
starting lineups are being announced. We've got a good game on tap here tonight on Friday night. Here to start off the December month in style. Guilford's going to be in the dark navy blue, Hononegah in white. Guilford moving right to left from our perspective. Hononegah going left to right as they're getting set to jump it up. One by Guilford. That's number 25, Jaden Webster, who got the tip. Number 12, Malachi Johnson swings it out back up top. Johnson's got the ball inside the line. It's going to be no good. Rebound underneath by Jaden Webster as he kicks off the scoring here tonight.
Great rebound by the Guilford team right there.
Here's Huey, the standout football star, also the standout basketball star here in the conference. leads the Hononegah Indian offense as the three-pointer from Cole Warren is good. Another one of those two-way players knocks down the triple to open up the game here for the Indians. Doyle up top, now swings it over to Chapman. Chapman is going to swing it back up top. Guilford now getting into their sets. Guarded closely up top is Doyle. Over to Chapman. And reset back up top to Johnson. Johnson looking down in the low post. Now he gets a screen inside. He's going to kick it out for a three. Gives it back up. Finds all the way over to Doyle. Now finally on the low block. That's Riley. Back out to Webster. Webster's three ball no good. And a loose ball is going to be picked up by Riley. And it's finally going to be batted away and controlled by the Indians underneath.
Had to go up strong for those rebounds and come down with them.
Hui guarded up top, swings it back over to Warren. Warren on the right timeline, guarded closely. Guilford playing tight man-to-man defense to open up this ball game. 15 Schmall has it just inside the arc, and he puts it down. Indians with a quick 5-2 lead here as we get underway in the first quarter.
Great start for Hononegah.
Johnson back over to Doyle up top. Now the ball finds Johnson. Loose ball. Looked like he wanted to shoot it. Instead, passes it over to Chapman. Chapman shot no good. Rebounded underneath by Riley. They're going to say count it and one.
He goes up strong for the rebound, able to secure it and put it back up for the 2 points and one.
Good strong play underneath by the junior. Riley at the line shooting to tie this ball game up. Free throw, nothing but net. And we're right back to where we started. Tie ball game 5-5 with 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Hui kicks this ball all the way up court. Tight defense in the corner. Stolen away by Riley on the court. And they're going to get a quick timeout here as Riley makes another hustle play. As he gets that ball, Guilford calls their timeout. A lot of fast-paced action here tonight. Tyler, to start off this ball game, definitely see a little bit of early rust. Both these teams with 5 and 4 games played, respectively, Guilford and Hononegah. You can clearly see some talent, and you got some guys working really hard to start off this game.
Yeah, I mean, they've played, like you say, 4 or 5 games each, but they really are still filling each other out. And I feel as the game progresses, this game's going to get a lot slower.
So 5-5 is the score. 5:47 on the clock here in the first quarter as Guilford's going to take this one underneath. They're going to go a little slow. Connor Doyle with the ball, walks it up court. He's guarded up top. Back over to Chapman. Chapman looking down low to Riley. Riley, loose ball, and they're going to say off Guilford. Hononegah ball. Good double team that time by Hononegah on the low block.
Yeah, any chance you can force a turnover is good. So
Hui's going to take the ball up court, the primary ball handler for the Indians. He's guarded by Doyle. Hui now across the timeline. They kick it back over to Tolan as that one's stolen away by Johnson. Johnson couldn't quite get the handle on the tip as that goes out of bounds under the baseline. Hononegah retains possession.
Got a few steps ahead of himself, just like a corner, able to almost get a pick six, but drops the ball. Just kind of looking too far in the future.
Hui once again is going to be pressured all night in the backcourt. One of the all-conference players returning in the NIC-10 this season is Hui, as that one's going to be stripped away on the drive by Doyle. Doyle now is going to slow up across midcourt. Over to Johnson for the three. No good. Rebound by Doyle. Doyle now going to reset on the right corner, back up to Johnson. Guarded closely up top by Schmall. Over to number 25. That is Webster. Shot no good. Rebound once again by Riley. Up and no good this time. And he'll be shooting 2 on the line. His second trip to the stripe so far in the first quarter.
Guilford is dominating offensively in terms of rebounds. Hononegah really needs to get those defensive rebounds so they can score more points.
Leon Riley, second trip to the charity stripe. First one no good for the junior forward. Might be even playing center here tonight for the Vikings. Score remains locked at 5-5. Second free throw coming up. This one is good for Riley as Guilford takes a 6-5 lead here in the ball game. It's like Xavion Lathan coming in there's number 21 for Guilford. Looks like that's Kelvin Jackson coming into the ball game. As this one's going to find Warren over into the corner to number 11, James Schomburg. Shot is no good. It'll stay here for the Indians. Excuse me, number 21, Cinco Gary is the number. Make sure we have that correct as Hononegah is going to keep this one in as it's going to be tipped by the Guilford defender. And it'll stay with the Indians once again. Looks like Hononegah will be having Warren inbound the ball. He's guarded there by Jaden Webster on the right corner. Finds Claudy back up top over to Huey. Huey's guarded by Malachi Johnson. Now the ball over to Warren. Good defense by Guilford, not allowing the Indians to get inside the three-point arc as Huey lines up a triple and good for the Indians as they retake the lead 8-6 here, 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Johnson looking to take Huey off the dribble, passes it back to Riley. Now over to Gary and reset the offense over to Mike Jones up top. Looking to get the ball down on the low block. Webster with the turnaround jumper from the free throw line. No good. Rebound underneath by Olsen. Huey up top. Pass finds Claudy for the three. No good. And rebound taken by Webster. Webster down low to Mike Jones as this one's going to find Webster underneath for the left-handed layup. And again, we're back to a tie ball game.
Great dish down low right there.
Huey walking up court very slowly. Hononegah playing a more methodical offense to start off this ball game. Ball underneath. Gonna get kicked back out to Warren up top. He's guarded very closely by Milian Riley. And the Indians not able to penetrate into the Guilford defense inside the three-point arc so far. Huey trying to take his man off the dribble, gets bumped, no call, taken by Johnson. Johnson loses the handle, able to regain possession as this one's going to find him back up top. Guilford resets the offense.
Hononegah looking like they're playing man-to-man.
Riley on the elbow, turnaround elbow jumper, no good. Rebound by Webster, kicks it back out for Jones. Jones drives the lane, and we're going to have another foul. No shot that time. They'll say inbound underneath, as we're going to have a couple more substitutions here in the ball game.
See what coach draws up from the baseline, what they've been practicing all week.
So Guilford inbounding underneath their own basket, trying to take the lead. It's been a back and forth ball game. Good pass underneath, finds Gary for the quick two, as looks like the Indian defender might have lost him on that inbounds play. Huey's got the ball. He's guarded very closely by Gary as this one's going to be tipped, and it'll stay here for the Indians. Another substitution. Looks like Isaiah's Premise is coming in. Johnson checks out for the first time here tonight. Huey looking to inbound this ball. Can't find anybody. Finally gets it up top to Tuvanis. Tuvanis over to Tholin, as this one is going to find its way underneath the basket. Trying to find Brendan Tell for the two. Instead it goes out of bounds as it rolls all the way to the back wall of the field house here at Hononegah.
Yeah, I think that Tavares may want that one back.
As it stands, Hononegah is going to retain possession. Huey finds Olsen up top. Swings it over to Tell. Tell looking to take his man off the dribble. Good pass over to the right corner. Number 23, Darian Tolin, would not get the shot to go. Good, strong defense underneath by the Vikings. Guilford moving quickly. Christian in the corner, down low. It's going to be a foul underneath Gary, who's trying to get the turnaround. Got fouled before the shot went up. Another foul here on the Indians. That is their that's their fourth of the quarter already. Really, foul trouble is not what you want to do against a good team like this, Tyler.
Yeah, especially with the Vikings sitting at 0 fouls right now. Those are ultimately 3 points they're going to end up giving up.
This one's going to find its way up to Million Riley. Riley over to Christian. Christian drives the lane, now resets back up top. Ricky Woods finds number 35, Colin Brinkman, down low. Good pass by the junior. As Guilford able to take a 4-point lead. Quick 3-ball by Warren is good. His second of the quarter already. Cole Warren, the standout quarterback, heading to UW Oshkosh next fall to play football, has got 2 3-pointers in his bag so far here in the first quarter. Primus with the ball. This one's going to find its way over to Christian. Christian trying to get it underneath, stolen away by Tell. Warren bringing the ball up court, looking to make another splash, finds Huey, his receiver, 4-3 off the mark, rebound by Warren. Warren resets, now ball finds its way to Tell, back. Good swinging action by the Indians, shot no good, had a good look, Darian Tolan. Guilford now running quickly as Christian can't get the handle. Another turnover here for the G-Vikes, as we've had a bit of a frenetic pace here in this ball game.
Although it feels really fast-paced, I got to say, in terms of scoring, it feels like we're stuck in mud.
And they've had a couple of shots, but I would have to agree with you. Not a ton of shot making so far. It's been slow and methodical in the half court. A lot of turnovers, a bit sloppy here to start off this ball game. Friedland up top. This one's going to find Claudy. Claudy over to Tuvanis. Tuvanis 4-3 front iron. A rebound taken by Jones. Jones brings the ball up over to Riley. Back to Jones. Guilford looking to set up their offense. 25 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Might be holding for the final shot. He's guarded up top by Claudy. This one finds Christian. Now back up to Primus. Over to Christian. 4-3 is good.
From downtown.
Jay Sean Christian with the 3-ball. 15-11 here in the first. 4 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 3-ball is blocked away. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Mike Jones swats Cole Warren to end it, as the Guilford Vikings have a 15-11 point lead here at the end of one. While we've got a timeout, want to remind you that tonight's game is presented by Busy Beaver Tree Care. For exceptional tree service second to none, Busy Beaver Tree Care is your best option. We're a local family-owned and operated business founded in 2003. We're not satisfied until you are. As well as Waterside Financial Advisors, who are teaming up with the Guilford Vikings to bring you more than just a game. Get ready to shoot for your goals as they provide independent financial guidance for the life you want to live. Elevate your game both on and off the court with reliable financial guidance from Waterside Financial Advisors. Go Vikings! And by Brian Falk State Farm. Call Brian at 815-398-2552. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Brian Botcher with Exit Realty. Whether you want to buy or sell, Brian works hard for his clients in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Call 815-378-2170 today. Finally, by Seiler Financial, our family helping your family. Listen to 1440 WROK every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for Navigating Retirement with Drew Seiler. Tyler, a bit of an interesting first quarter that was. Guilford with a 15-11 lead. But like you said, not a lot of consistent offense, we'll say. A lot of back and forth, a lot of running the court, but so far neither team really looking like they're sharp in the half court.
Yeah, let's see as they clean up some of that shot making and put some points up on the board.
Hononegah starts this quarter with the ball. Tolan underneath with a right-handed layup, brings it back within 2.
Beautiful cross-court pass right there.
Guilford moving quickly, had the wide open 3, was Chapman, decided not to take it. Doyle up top now getting the offense in motion. This one's going to be swung over to Malachi Johnson. Johnson down low, finds Webster. Webster underneath to Riley. Riley puts it in again. The leading scorer for the Vikings has another 2 as they extend their lead back to 4 points, 17-13. Huey up top, looking to drive the lane. Left-handed layup, nice through the defense. As now we've got a little bit more consistent offense here to start this second quarter.
Quite the change of pace from the first quarter. It's kind of nice.
Chapman hands off to Doyle in the dribble handoff. Down low under Demillion Riley. Riley trying to kick it out up top. Instead, it's going to be taken by Tolan. Tolan running out. Strong right-handed layup. Circles around and out of bounds. Tyler, I thought Guilford might have touched that one last. Instead, they'll say it was off Hononegah as the G-Vikes will start off this offensive possession underneath their own basket.
I 100% agree with you right there, Trevor.
3 officials. They do a fantastic job here in the NIC-10. Doyle starts the offense here for the G-Vikes. Riley up top. Doyle has been one of the primary ball handlers here for the Vikings. As we're going to have a traveling violation. Chapman just dragged his back foot. Their turnover goes to the Indians as they try to pull even or perhaps take the lead with a 3-ball right here. It's like the Vikings employing a 3-quarter court press as that one goes off the foot high into the crowd over here towards us. There's a nice bounce pass over to the official.
I was a little worried right there.
A lot of equipment down there on the sideline as the Indians inbound this ball. Huey looking to go very quickly, finds Warren in the corner. Warren shut off by Johnson. Almost intercepted by Doyle. Instead, that is a floater by Claudy. Claudy no good. Fight for the ball underneath, taken by Johnson. Johnson moving quickly. Quick pass off to Webster. Webster, I don't think he saw that one. Luckily, he was able to handle that ball. Huey tries to jump the passing lane over into the corner. Drives in is Doyle as his layup goes. Good offensive play by the Vikings as the Indians might have got a little bit over-aggressive that time. So he's going to find Warren up top for another 3. Just out. Front iron left it a touch short. Would have been a big shot for the Indians. Instead, the Vikings will slow it down just a touch. So we're going to have a couple more substitutions at the next dead ball as Vikings again looking to get their offense set up here in the half court. Trying to get the ball down low to either Malachi Johnson or Million Riley. Good defense underneath in the low block. As this one's going to be taken by Claudy. Claudy running the lane 2-on-1. Throws up for the alley-oop. No good. Don't think he was expecting it. As now Riley with the right-handed layup in transition is good.
Great team basketball right there to give it up and let your teammates score.
And you mentioned a little bit of the early season rust. That one might have played a factor. And we're going to have a timeout following that missed alley-oop from the Indians. As we'll have a brief timeout here. So Tyler, 21-15 is the lead for the Vikings. We saw this second quarter start off a little bit more in sync as it's gone on. A couple of early season miscues. A lot of guys playing passing lanes very aggressively, which you like, but sometimes you get a little bit over-aggressive, and that leads to easy points for the other team.
Yeah, just trying to jump that passing lane to create a turnover kind of opens you up to the other team being able to drive in the lane pretty freely. So, you like to see aggressiveness, but at some point it's going to cost you.
A balanced scoring attack from both sides here tonight. Saw Cole Warren hit a couple of threes. Million Riley has been really the key guy for the Vikings. We'll see if Huey and Johnson can really get it going. Again, they were 2 of the most talented players in the conference last season. Both made all-conference first team. So far, not a lot of points between the two. Hononegah underneath. Now he finds Huey. Huey with the floater. No call. Might have been a block. Officials swallowed their whistle. Johnson bobbled that one. They were looking for a travel, but they will not get it. As this one finds its way over into the corner now underneath to Malachi Johnson, who puts it in with the sweet right-handed layup as Guilford has taken an 8-point lead here in the second quarter.
First points of the game for Malachi Johnson.
Huey up top standing on the yellow H here at Hononegah High School. He and Warren have been 2 of the primary ball handlers as a corner three-pointer is good. Landon Claudy with a triple for Hononegah. 3-ball has been key for them tonight. That's their 3rd of the ball game already. makes up half their points. This one finds its way underneath to Ricky Woods Jr. Jr. cannot get it to go, as we're going to have a push underneath on the rebound attempt. Goes against Guilford, as Hononegah is going to have this one. 18-23 is the score in favor of Guilford. They've led by as many as 8 points here. Hononegah just hit a 3-ball to pull within 5 here in the second quarter. Screen for Huey. Huey drives in, now tries to drop it off. And it'll stay here, deflected underneath, as Guilford does not like the call, but it'll stay here once again. Tyler, those tipped passes are always really tough to see if you're an official down low.
So many bodies.
Ball finds its way down over to Cole Schmall. Schmall underneath, cannot get the bucket to go. This one taken up by Johnson. Johnson trying to drive in the lane, that one is off. Tried to get the transition jumper. Instead finds its way up to Warren. Warren for 3 again. He's got another.
He's
3 of them
up
into the first half here for Cole Warren, as he has pulled the Indians within 2. Woods has the ball up top, looking to get the ball to Johnson. Now finds its way to Webster. Webster trying to answer back. No good. Rebound underneath, as it falls no good for Gary, as now the Indians trying to take the lead with this 3. Claudia almost in and out for the Indians, as Guilford now looking to go a little bit more controlled as they slow it up here in the backcourt.
Catch your breath, get ready to go on the attack.
One's going to be tipped away by Warren. Good play to get in the passing zone as the ball was trying to find Cinco Gary. It'll stay here for the Vikings. We'll have a couple more substitutions. So we've had a flurry of 3 balls here for the Indians the last couple minutes, 2 of them by Cole Warren in the second quarter.
Yeah, he's playing like he's in NBA Jam. I'm pretty sure the hoop's just going to catch fire the next 3 he drains.
I'm sure the Vikings will want to put a body on him as they cross half court from now until the end of the half, maybe into the third quarter. Good spin move underneath by Primus. No good on the basket, but a great dribble move that time to get himself to the line. He'll be shooting 2.
If he can sink these from the charity stripe, put his team up by 4 points, I think mission accomplished.
First one is up and just off. Looks like he shot it a touch to the right. He'll try to hit this second one to bring the lead back up to 3 points. And a bit of a game of runs here. Guilford has controlled the game a little bit more, but a close game nonetheless, as they take a 24-21 lead here in the first half following the free throw by Primus. Tuvanis has the ball, drives in from the right corner, now resets back to trying to find a man, finally gets it over to Schmall. Good defense that time by Guilford, as Claudia has it up top. Trying to find Warren on the high block. Tuvani trying to drive baseline. He does and hits the nice floater. That was Claudia. Claudia brings the Indians back within 1.
Hononegah really has to be careful with that 5-second violation.
Guilford looking to slow it up once again. They find the man in the corner, drops the pass off underneath to Woods as Mike Jones goes up and is hacked. He'll go back to the line. Tyler, I'm trying to think. I don't think we've seen the Indians at the line so far. By my count, this is the 5th or 6th trip already for the Vikings here in the first half.
And that's the difference in this game right now. Hononegah should be up, but the free throws just kind of eliminate that, and Guilford's leading right now.
I've seen a lot of jump shots from the Indians. They've driven the lane a couple of times, but you've definitely got to say the Vikings have been more aggressive getting to the basket here today. As a couple more substitutions. 1:42 left to go here in the second quarter. Only a couple fouls here in the second. 2 for the Indians, 1 for the Vikings here in the second. Huey's going to be guarded across half court by Primus. Gets the ball over to 20. That's Braden Olson. Olson for 3. No good. Rebound taken by Christian as the Vikings look to push the pace. Chapman spin move finds him in the corner. Now Christian drives in, elbow jumper, rims out. Good rebound underneath by Jones. Jones with the hoop and the harm. Another big-time play by Mike Jones, one of those returning starters from the conference champion squad a year ago, as he's got a chance to extend this lead even further with the and one.
And yet another foul on the Indians. So luckily the foul's reset at halftime. Minute left in the game, or in the half.
Jones does hit the and one. Guilford goes up by 6, 29-23 here in the first half. They play tight defense here to round out the back half of this second quarter, as a block is going to be had by Brandon Chapman as he swatted away Claudy's drive attempt. Now Chapman with the three ball. He's got the block. He's got the triple.
Nothing but the bottom of the net right there.
9-point lead here at the end of the second quarter. 45 to go here in the first half. Warren finds Huey. Huey trying to cut within this lead here. You don't want to go down into halftime by this many points, as that one's going to be lost on the drive. Another turnover here goes to the Vikings as they look to extend their lead to double digits before halftime. Still 34.1 to go here in the first. Primus going to walk this ball up court. He's going to hand the ball off to Chapman. Chapman wearing number 0, and he just had that block and the three ball just a second ago to extend their lead to 9 points. Christian up top looking to get the offense going. Jones now swings it back to Primus. Some motion here by Guilford trying to get the man-to-man defense confused. Passed off underneath, and another good basket is made by Mike Jones. A sweet drop-off. This one's good if it goes, and no good for Huey. So after the first half, 34-23 in favor of the G-Vikes, as they use an explosive second quarter run to extend their lead to double digits, as they lead by 11. Tyler, before we go to halftime break, what did you like out of the Vikings here in the first half?
I like the fact that when they were at the line, they made more of their free throws than they didn't. I mean, that's why they have this 11-point lead right now. And that run they were able to put together going into half really kind of, might be a big factor at the end of the game.
Yeah, and as for Hononegah, we saw them really only get some points on some jump shots. They've made a number of threes here in the first half, but if you're going to come back into this game, you got to either get really hot from beyond the arc, or you're really going to have to get the ball into the lane and try to pick up some foul shots here in the second half.
Guilford only gave up one foul, and I think fouls is where the Vikings are winning this game. So I definitely think that Hononegah needs to lower the amount of fouls they've given up, as well as draw more fouls. So
we'll take a break for halftime, but we want to remind you that tonight's game is presented by Busy Beaver Tree Care. For exceptional tree service second to none, Busy Beaver Tree Care is your best option. We're a local, family-owned and operated business founded in 2003. We're not satisfied until you are. Tonight's game is also made possible in part thanks to Waterside Financial Advisors, who are teaming up with the Guilford Vikings to bring you more than just a game. Get ready to shoot for your goals as they provide independent financial guidance for the life you want to live. Elevate your game both on and off the court with reliable financial guidance from Waterside Financial Advisors. Go Vikings! As well as by Brian Falk State Farm. Call Brian at 815-398-2552. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Brian Botcher with Exit Realty. Whether you want to buy or sell, Brian works hard for his clients in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Call 815-378-2170 today. And by Seiler Financial, our family helping your family. Listen to 1440 WROK every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for Navigating Retirement with Drew Seiler. And by the Rockford Lightning, Rockford's first semi-professional women's basketball team. Stay up to date on team news on their Instagram and Facebook feeds. and by D1 Training Rockford. Try their Rockford facility for free. Call 815-569-5630 to learn more. Train different with D1. And by 9-Iron Belvedere. Enjoy a virtual golfing experience all winter long for solo practice sessions, business gatherings, or date night. 9-Iron, golf, game, gather.
I think one of the special things about D1 is it's not about D1's.
Whew, that's a lot of.
I think one of the special things about D1 is it's not about D1's goal. It's about your goal. Wherever you're at, whatever that goal is, maybe it's to make the high school team, maybe it's to lose 20 pounds, whatever it is, you show up, you tell us your goal, and let us help you get there. One of the themes that D1 is to level up. No matter where you are, our heart is to help you take the next step. What would be your goal? Why do you show up to train?
Personally, I would like to play football in college.
How can you get 1% better today?
Just beat the person next to me, be myself every day.
When you show up here, if you have that mindset of, hey, I got a goal, I'm going to embrace the grind, and I would rather experience the pain of discipline than the pain of regret. So what is D1 5-star training? Number one, it starts with a dynamic warm-up. They're getting our body in the position, in the place we need it so that we can perform, which is number two. Because performance for an athlete is king. But our effort is 90% or more of whatever exercise we were doing. Number three is strength. Then we get to really get into the weight room and focus on the strength. And number four is core and conditioning. For me, conditioning is not a lot about what you can do. It's about that place that you're willing to go. You're willing to push yourself, and then we finish with a cool down. So that's our 5-star workout here at D1. We believe it's proven. We believe it works. We believe it'll also work for you. So don't be afraid of showing up, and let us help you take the next steps. D1!
And welcome back here to Hononegah High School, where the Guilford Vikings lead the Hononegah Indians by 11 points, 34-23. A big second quarter run led the Vikings to this big lead. I want to thank you for joining us here on Clutch Sports Media for our first basketball broadcast of the season, which is presented by Busy Beaver Tree Care. For exceptional tree services, second to none, Busy Beaver Tree Care is your best option. They're a local family-owned and operated business founded in 2003. We're not satisfied until you are. And by Waterside Financial Advisors. Waterside Financial Advisors is teaming up with the Guilford Vikings to bring you more than just a game. You're ready to shoot for your goals as they provide independent financial guidance for the life you want to live. Elevate your game both on and off the court with reliable financial guidance from Waterside Financial Advisors. Go Vikings. And by Brian Falk State Farm. Call Brian at 815-398-2552. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Brian Botcher with Exit Realty. Whether you want to buy or sell, Brian works hard for his clients in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. Call 815-378-2170 today. And by Siler Financial, our family helping your family. Listen to 1440 WROK every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for Navigating Retirement with Drew Siler. Tyler, we got some notes here from the Guilford coaching staff. Virginia Smith, our sideline reporter. Why don't you take a look at those and tell us what the Guilford squad wants to see out of their team in the second half.
The big thing from what we've heard is talking about patience. You don't rush shots, and in high school basketball there is no shot clock, so you don't need a rush. You're not under a limit, so use your possession to create open shots, because you can pass the ball around for 15 seconds or a minute, so just practice or preaching patience for the Guilford Vikings.
Yeah, looking at those Guilford Vikings, they are really spreading it around here tonight, Tyler. By our count, I think they have 10 players who have put up points here tonight, as opposed to just 5 for the Indians. Cole Warren is the leading scorer in tonight's ball game. He's got 9 on 3 triples. But, we were expecting a lot of the returning starters to have a bigger scoring impact for the Vikings, but they're really playing a cohesive, well-rounded team basketball game.
Yeah, spreading the ball around makes it so difficult for a defense to eliminate, take out, a star player. So I think if Guilford just keeps spreading the ball out, having everyone score, then Hononegah is really going to be riding a fine line on if they can get back into this game.
Do have a correction to make. We had number 50 as Ricky Woods Jr. We do have an update. That is Jason Scott wearing number 50, so we'll try to keep that in mind. Double wash. Jaden Webster has 4 points and 5 rebounds in the game. Nobody else is really close to putting up those type of rebound numbers as we get the second half going. Doyle is going to find the ball, is going to find his way over to Chapman in the corner. Guilford resets. Ball finds its way underneath to Jaden Webster, who puts up 2 points to kick off the second half scoring. Hui bringing the ball up court. Once again, Guilford playing man-to-man defense. Not full-on full-court press just yet, but they are playing it tight as soon as the guys cross half court. There's a steal, and it's going to be taken back by Hui. Hui's going to try to kick this one out to the corner. Number 23, that is Darian Tholen, goes up for the shot. No good. Guilford right down the court. Jaden Webster puts up 2 points. Guilford with 4 points here in the second half. None for the Indians. Tyler, they've really got to get it going, as they're going to call a timeout just 49 seconds into the half, as they have not looked great at the end of that second quarter, nor to start off this this third quarter.
Yeah, they had to do something in order to stop the bleeding. Guilford was able to continue that run through from the end of the first half to now. So
while we have a timeout, want to thank the sponsors making tonight's game possible. The Rockford Lightning, Rockford's first semi-professional women's basketball team. Stay up to date on team news on their Instagram and Facebook feeds. And by D1 Training Rockford. Try their Rockford facility for free. Call 815-569-5630 to learn more. Train different with D1. And by 9-Iron Belvedere. Enjoy a virtual golfing experience all winter long for solo practice sessions, business gatherings, or date night. 9-Iron. Golf, game, gather. So, Tyler, as we come back from this timeout, we mentioned it at the end of the first half. It's really been jump shots for the Indians. And they're down by 15 right away here in this third quarter. They're going to really have to pick it up if they're going to get back into this ball game. Here's Huey driving the lane. This one's going to be fouled before he got the pass off. Looks like that might have been on number 2. Yes, indeed it was. Foul goes against Connor Doyle. No shots on that foul. It'll be a underneath as the Indians look to get the lid off the basket here in the second half.
Second foul for Guilford of the game right there.
Pass back up top to Huey. Huey gets a screen, chooses not to use it. Trying to take his man off the dribble. He's guarded by Doyle. Now Huey drives the lane off the right foot. Right-handed layup is good for the first points of the half here for the Indians. Johnson up top. This one's Doyle. Now back to Johnson. Lots of ball movement here for Guilford. Looks like they're trying to run a set play. Almost a dangerous pass that time for the Indians. Here's Johnson, finds Doyle. Doyle underneath. That is Riley. And a good drive to the lane is Chapman. Chapman 4-2 as Guilford's offense is working to maximum efficiency here to start the third quarter.
A nice up and under right there. Beautiful, beautiful shot.
Indians looking to get it going a little bit more here in the second half as Schomburg controls the ball down in the low block. Now dribbles it back out. Pass is going to find Warren. Warren with the right-handed layup. No good, but they'll say it's going to be a block. Looks like Milian Riley might have had a shoulder moving as Warren tried to drive in for the layup. Tyler, this is the first free throws of the game here for the Indians.
Yeah, and his feet were planted solid, but I just think at the last little moment, he tried to make sure he got solid contact on his body.
First one up and good for the Indians as they trail by 14 here. 6 minutes, 3 seconds left to go here in the third quarter as Guilford is on an extended run dating back to the end of that second quarter. They were leading by just 1 point. They have really taken control of this one. As now it looks like we're going to see some half-court pressure from the Indians as Chapman rises and hits the 3-ball as the Vikings are dangerously close to extending their lead to 20 points. They lead by 17, 43-26. Ball finds its way to the corner to Tolan. Now back up top to Huey. Huey and Schmal playing off each other. Back to Warren. Warren the leading scorer in the ball game. Huey's driving, free throw line jumper, no good. Might have got bumped, not enough contact for a foul. As Johnson moves slowly across half court over to Chapman. And back to Doyle, back to Chapman.
And here's the patience that we talked about coming out of halftime.
A dangerous pass that time, finds its way to Riley, almost intercepted as this 3-ball is no good, but Chapman's underneath right there to put it up. Offensive board. And Tyler, if you're going to get back into this ball game, you cannot allow those short front iron rebounds to go to the Indians. As we're going to have another timeout here in the third quarter. That's the second that the Indians have taken, not even halfway through the quarter so far. And while we have a quick break, want to thank Busy Beaver Tree Care for presenting tonight's ball game. For exceptional tree services, second to none, Busy Beaver Tree Care is your best option. We're a local, family-owned and operated business founded in 2003. We're not satisfied until you are. Tyler, you know this Guilford squad, we talked about it at the top. 15 wins a season ago, their most all-time at a conference championship. Boy, it really looks like they've got the skills to pay the bills. Looks like they might have another run at the crown once again this season.
And tomorrow they just keep it going with the Simeon from Chicago, typically a powerhouse in that area. So coming off of tonight, you know, depending on how the rest of this game goes, they could be feeling pretty good going into that game tomorrow.
Yeah, there are 2 losses on the season coming in tournament play. Of course, the Fred Van Vliet Classic was played a week ago. Lots of very good basketball schools from the Chicago area. I know we had a couple of out-of-state schools come up. They had 25 games across 5 days at Auburn. Guilford played a couple of those. And it's good to get battle-tested early in the season. Here are the Indians. This one's going to find its way over to number 5. That is Claudy. His shot no good. Taken by Johnson. Johnson running out. Gets into the lane underneath, and a sweet right-handed layup is good. There's that explosive playmaking we thought we might see here tonight from one of the best players in conference. Hui trying to take his man off dribble, does so, and he's going to get fouled underneath once again, trying to kick it out. We've seen that a couple of times. Looks like the Indians, they're just not willing to go up and underneath near the basket. We've seen a lot of drives and kicks here tonight. Want to see as we go on throughout this game if they want to try to put the ball up a little bit more often.
Complete opposites from both teams.
This one, a risky pass is going to be taken away out in front here for Guilford. A sweet finger roll by Mike Jones as the Indians lead by 23 points here in the third quarter. They are really taking it to the home squad. Hui drives the lane, a sweet behind the back dish. He got bumped on the drive, however, as he's trying to do all that he can to drag this Indian squad back into the ball game. So I think we got to see a little bit more scoring from him. He is the second leading scorer for the Indians, 7 points. But if they're going to get back into this ball game, you got to think he's got to put up at least another 10 or so to make this competitive. Sweet dish over to Tuvanis. Now back up to Hui. 3-ball is good. He's in double digits, as we just mentioned. That cuts the lead to 20. Now they got to play some good defense. Ball finds its way into the corner as it's going to be stolen away by Hui. As Hononegah looking to run quickly. A pull-up 3 in transition is no good. Rebound taken by Primus. Primus dribbling the ball up top. He is guarded up there by number 10. That is Cole Warren. Now they get the ball underneath to Gary. This one's going to find its way to Jones. That is Jay-Sean Fry in the ball game as the elbow jumper is good. And the Vikings back up by 23.
Guilford making shots from pretty much everywhere on the court.
Here's Hui driving the lanes, left-handed finger roll, no good. And the ball out in front to Jayceon Scott, dumps it off. Might have been a little bit too fast with the feet. This one no good, rims out, and it'll stay here. Again, Tyler, it looks like Guilford might have touched that ball last. Instead, they'll say it was off of Hononegah. We have a pretty good view, although down there it does get a little bit far away from our broadcast area up here on the media sideline here at Hononegah High School.
I wouldn't want that job.
Ball finds its way into the corner. Another 3-ball. This one nothing but air as Fry missed that one completely. As I'm going to say a foul is going to go on. I'm going to say that one was on Mike Jones. He did not agree with the call. But a couple of fouls here. That's 5 already in the half. And, Tyler, that's one thing you never want to do if you have a big lead in the ball game. You don't want to be giving away free fouls because one of the ways that you're going to let this team get back into the ball game is by sending them to the charity stripe.
But that was a major thing we talked about is right now the Indians are sitting at 0 team fouls, whereas the Vikings have 5, and it was opposite in the first half.
Now, although the Vikings have not really needed those fouls here in the second half, as the second free throw no good. First one by Tuvanis was made. So 30-51 is the mark in the ball game. As we approach the end of the third quarter, 2.5 to go here in the third. Good shoulder shimmy by Jones as he's going to get hacked once again. Just saying, Tyler, no fouls that time. Just a good move underneath. Too big was Mike Jones. A lot of experience does the senior have as he used those shoulders to get his man in the air, and he goes to the line to shoot 2.
Battling in the paint, that's something that a lot of players don't like to do just because they don't like contact, but he's obviously not afraid of it.
And one of the 2 returning senior starters from a season ago, the other one being Johnson, as he is unable to get either free throw to go, as that might open the door a little bit for the Indians. They've got to go quickly, and they've got to hit some perimeter shots. try to dig into this lead here, trailing by 21 towards the end of the third quarter. A nice little move by Lucas Tuvanis as he puts it up and brings the lead back within 20. Now they lead by 19 to the Vikings. A dangerous pass is going to be picked off, and we're going to have our first jump ball of the game. Don't see the possession arrow up on the scoreboard. Waiting to see what the call is. Looks like it'll stay with the Vikings. No, it will go to the Indians as a turnover by Guilford will allow the Indians to set their offense up here. We are under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. So it's Tell in the ball game. He gets the ball off the handoff, trying to take his man off dribble. Good defense as this ball finds its way underneath to Tuvanis. Tuvanis with a turnaround as Hononegah on a little bit of a run here. They've scored 6 straight here in the third quarter. Still a big lead for the Vikings. They lead by 16. So it finds its way over to number 40 in the corner. I have a name. We'll try to get that here in just a moment. Primus controls the ball up top over to Torres. Ethan Torres in the ball game. As this one finds its way to Jones, and Jones hits it. Number 40, Ricky Woods Jr. in the ball game. Had his number as 50 in the first half. But he is wearing number 40 into the ball game here today. Another 3-ball is launched by Warren, no good, but a long shot, long rebound here for the Indians. Finds its way into the corner here for Hononegah. Tuvanis looking to drive once again. Jump stops up to Tell. Tell might have been open. Instead decides to take it down, passes it off to Warren. Good defense staying in front by the Vikings, not allowing the drives to go down. Finds its way to Schmall. Schmall with a 3-ball, a little bit too strong. Rebound taken by the Vikings as Primus walks his ball up court very slowly. Might be the last shot of the half, depending on what the offense wants to do. Primus moves left as ball finds its way towards the corner. Back up to Primus, over to Torres. Torres over to Jones. 7 seconds left to go. This one is going to be just inside the line. No good for the shot. Rebound by Jones, and we're going to have a foul with half a second left to go here in the quarter. And they're going to say it is indeed a shooting foul.
A very bad foul there. You definitely don't want to give up a free one with half a second left.
I would say it was not in the act of shooting. This one to Primus up top. It's good if it goes. No good. But the Vikings a lead by 19 at the end of 3, 53-34 in favor of the road Guilford Vikings. While we have a break, I want to remind you that tonight's game is presented by Busy Beaver Tree Care. For exceptional tree services second to none, Busy Beaver Tree Care is your best option. We're a local family-owned and operated business founded in 2003. We're not satisfied until you are. Tonight's game also made possible in part thanks to Waterside Financial Advisors, who are teaming up with the Guilford Vikings to bring you more than just a game. Get ready to shoot for your goals as they provide independent financial guidance for the life you want to live. Elevate your game both on and off the court with reliable financial guidance from Waterside Financial Advisors. Go Vikings! As well as Brian Falk State Farm at 815-398-2552. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Brian Botcher with Exit Realty. Whether you want to buy or sell, Brian works hard for his clients in Northern Illinois and Southern Wisconsin. Call 815-378-2170 today. And by Seiler Financial, our family helping your family. Listen to 1440 WROK every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for Navigating Retirement with Drew Seiler. So, Tyler, one of the benefits of college and professional basketball, of course, we get media timeouts. Here at the high school level, it's go, go, go. Not a lot of rest for any of these guys on the court except for that 10-minute halftime. That could really play into effect with you get some of these teams with more depth than some of the other schools in the league.
Especially when, just in terms of the coach, how deep into the bench you want to go. You might have players there, but maybe you just don't feel as comfortable putting them in.
So the lead is 19 as we enter the fourth quarter as Johnson drives in, tries to dish it off. Good deflection in the lane that time by Cole Warren. as it'll stay with the Vikings. A lot of space down there here in the field house. We're going to have a lot of good pictures and video highlights from tonight's ball game. Our fantastic photographers, as this one is no good, but a rebound by Chapman. He finds Johnson, elbow jumper, no good. Long rebound taken by Hui. But as we were saying, follow us on social media at Clutch Sports 815. You see some fantastic action shots, pictures, and videos here from tonight's ball game. 3-ball from the corner for the Indians, no good. Dolan was no good that time. Ball makes its way down to Webster. Webster tries a 3 of his own. This one no good, and we're going to have a rebound that was last touched by the Indians once again. They'll stay here with the Vikings. 7:18 to go here in the fourth quarter. Doyle up top. Ball finds its way underneath to Johnson. Johnson with a nice turnaround hook shot underneath, as he is the first in double digits for the Vikings here tonight. Hui with the reverse over the head left-handed layup, just trying anything that he can to put some points on the board. No good. Chapman steps into the lane and puts up another 2 points here for the Vikings, as they have once again brought their lead back up to 23. And we're going to have another timeout here for the Indians. While we do have a timeout, want to also thank the Rockford Lightning, Rockford's first semi-professional basketball team. Stay up to date on team news on their Instagram and Facebook feeds. D1 Training Rockford. Try their Rockford training facility for free by calling 815-569-5630 to learn more. Train different with D1, and by 9 Iron Belvedere. Enjoy a virtual golfing experience all winter long for solo practice sessions, business gatherings, or date night. 9 Iron. Golf. Game. Gather. So, Tyler, looking at some of the stats here tonight, Malachi Johnson, the leading scorer in the ballgame. He's got 11. 2 players for Hononegah with 10 each. That's Warren and Hui. And after a hot start for Warren in that first half with 3 triples, he's really been shut down here in this second half. In fact, I would say the Guilford defense has really just put the clamps on the Indians here in the third quarter and the start of the fourth.
They just haven't, Hononegah really just hasn't been able to muster anything against this Viking defense, and I gotta say I'm very impressed by the Viking defense.
Yeah, again, returning all those starters, they got a lot of senior leadership, a lot of really good defensive players as well as offensive talent, but you can really tell that this is a team to be reckoned with here in the NIC-10 this season. Here is the Hononegah offense. Ball finds its way down low to Tavares. Tavares puts up another 2 points. He's got 7 on the evening. As this one finds its way to Primus, Hui trying to put some ball pressure as he's going to pick up a foul in the backcourt. As Guilford has really just taken this ball game and run with it. Really, Tyler, was that end of the second quarter. They went on a big run and rode that entirely through the third quarter, as they now lead by 21 here in the fourth.
Basketball is a big game of momentum, and the Vikings were able to capitalize on theirs.
Here's Fry. This one's going to be taken away by Claudia. Claudia running the court in the lane. Floater up. No good. Gets his own rebound and cannot hit the follow-up shot, as the Indians have just not put up enough offense here tonight to stay in the ball game. Have a kick ball that time. Braden Olson got his foot on that one. We'll stay here for the G-Vikes.
Yeah, I'm looking through some of the photographs that have already been kind of posted within our company chat, and I got to say, you should definitely go check those out at Clutch Sports 815 after the game's done.
And on Instagram, X, or Twitter, as it was once called, we are going to have some great pictures of tonight's ball game. I know we have some pictures from the Fred Van Vliet Classic as well, as the 3-ball goes down for Tuvanis. We've got a whole suite of photographers here tonight and for the entire season. Guilford working the ball around. They do not want to go too quickly. They are more than content to just run out the clock a little bit. As the ball finds its way into Hui's hands following the pass down low. Hui drives the lane as he's able to get the floating jump shot. Brings the game back within 18. Don't want to count them out just yet. Crazier things have happened, but they're going to really need some defensive stops and some quick offense as this one finds its way underneath the number 35. That was Brinkman. Brinkman's shot would not go. This one finds its way up top. A 3-ball for the Indians, and just has not been going down here in the second half as Braden Olson cannot find net. That time, ball underneath to Jones, and Jones with a two-handed flush going baseline as he throws down the first dunk of the evening here tonight.
That was a slamma-jamma right there.
It's like we're going to have a technical foul on Jones, I believe. Might have had a little bit of extra sauce at the end of that one. Not quite a poster, but the guy in the area, anytime you can throw down a dunk like that in high school, you are really going to be excited, especially on the road.
Yeah, you don't get very many opportunities like that, and he definitely took advantage of his.
Yeah, a lot of fast break dunks is where you'll see the majority of slam dunks here at the high school level. In the half-court offense, not quite as often as Warren hits the second free throw. 61-42 is the score as Hononegah will have the ball in the front court here. We have 4.5 to go here in the ball game. Trail by 19 points. A good find underneath to Hui with the right-handed layup. Brings this ball game a little closer. They're going to get back in this one. They're going to need a couple of steals or blocks and a couple of threes. But again, crazier things have happened. This ball is loose, picked up by Jason Scott. Scott finds the ball back up to Torres up top, and we got another steal. Ball out running. This is Claudy. Claudy can't get it to go, but Hui on the follow. And don't look now, but Hononegah making a little bit of a run. They've pulled within 15. But a good pass down court to Colin Brinkman as he answers in kind to stop the Indian run. A 3-ball by Tholin. No good. Quick shot. Right idea. Just would not get it to go. Have a foul. Looks like that was on to Vanes as Chris Porter has seen some action here. Sophomore guard for the Vikings has checked into the ball game here towards the end of the fourth.
Looks like Hononegah is, I'm not going to say throwing in the towel, but they took out some of their star players.
Here is Torres getting the ball, and it finds its way out up top to Cinco Gary. Gary with the right-handed runner, no good. His follow-up, no good as well, but it looks like he got fouled on the way up. So he'll shoot some more free throws. Not really a big contributor here in the second half. Tyler, we saw a lot of free throws. Really allowed, I think, some of these Guilford players to get in rhythm in that first half. As evidenced by the score, they are up to 64 points following the first free throw by Gary.
Yeah, I mean, first quarter is looking like this game was going to be a 40-45 slugfest, but scoring kind of exploded here in the second half.
And the Indians play really good defense, but they've had some trouble getting the offensive game going so far. Had a number of games around 50 points on offense. We'll see if they can pick that up in as conference play gets underway. This one is going to be blocked away to Vanes. I think he got fouled, no call, as that one scoots out of bounds. The down court pass trying to get to Torres, could not corral it. Looks like we might have a great shot from one of our photographers right there. Action coming at you. Always really exciting to see at the conclusion of the ball game. Under 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Again, the Vikings lead by 19 points here on this first night of December as the three-point ball was blocked away by Torres. Eventually it makes its way over to Tell. Tell cannot get it to go. Gary on the run out to Fry. Oh, and he couldn't quite hang on to it for the dunk. Looks like he lost it on the way up. Claudy steps inside the arc, hits the elbow jumper. Both teams still playing hard as we round out the end of this ball game. 2.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. Underneath that one is to number 40. That is Ricky Woods. And Guilford able to get that one. Cinco Gary on the shot. A 3-ball here by Tavares, and no good. Rebound taken by Gary once again, as he tries to get a little bit too fancy that time, as the pass was picked off by Tuvanes. Don't think the Guilford coaching staff's going to love that one, as Claudia lines up the 3-ball. No good, but a foul by Woods that time on the offensive putback attempt.
Yeah, and Woods, a freshman, that might have been able to contribute to that foul. Kind of that inexperience right there, but.
Yeah, big-bodied freshman. He is listed at 6'4", the second tallest player on the Vikings roster. And as just a freshman, you're really excited about the prospect of what he can grow into for this talented squad. Already playing some varsity minutes here for a very talented and very experienced Viking squad that have looked the part of a conference champion contender here tonight on the road against Hononegah. A couple of substitutions now. Looks like everybody's going to be rounding out the bench here to end this ball game, as it's almost all over but the shouting. 18-point lead for the Vikings on the road here. 1:45 left to play in the game. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on our first broadcast of the basketball season here on Clutch Sports Media 815. As the ball finds its way into the corner, Chris Porter with the ball finds its way over to Colin Brinkman. Brinkman hits the shot, as the Vikings are at 69 points, just one away from hitting 70. You know, that would feel really good for the Guilford squad and their fans who have traveled to see this very talented Viking team. Ball tipped away out of bounds, stays here for the Indians. A couple more possessions here in this ball game. See if the Vikings want to push to get ahead of that 70-point mark. It's a nice step in by Tell. He's able to put it down. As looks like they put the points up to the Vikings, but I believe that one was over to the Indians, as they have passed 50 points for tonight's ball game, 69-51. Here are the Vikings as they try to get this ball into the net one more time here tonight. Turnaround hook shot is good, and Ethan Torres is the one to do it. 71 points on the evening for the Vikings. They have really put it to the Indians here on offense. Tyler, whenever you can put up more than 2 points per minute, you know you've had a great offensive output. This one blocked away underneath by Brinkman, as 19.5 left to go here on the clock, as the Vikings might just dribble this one out. As yes, indeed, I believe they will do so.
And going back to your 2 points per minute stat, this is the second time this year that Guilford has scored more than 70 points. So you score points, you tend to win games.
Final score, Guilford 71, Hononegah 51. As we'll take a quick break to wrap things up, as we remind you that tonight's game is presented by Busy Beaver Tree Care. For exceptional tree services second to none, Busy Beaver Tree Care is your best option. A local family-owned and operated business founded in 2003. We're not satisfied until you are. And by Waterside Financial Advisors, who are teaming up with the Guilford Vikings to bring you more than just a game. Get ready to shoot for your goals as they provide independent financial guidance for the life you want to live. Elevate your game both on and off the court with reliable financial guidance from Waterside Financial Advisors. Go Vikings! And by Brian Falk State Farm. Call Brian at 815-398-2552. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And by Brian Botcher with Exit Realty. Whether you want to buy or sell, Brian works hard for his clients in Northern Illinois and Southern Wisconsin. Call 815-378-2170 today. And by Seiler Financial, our family helping your family. Listen to 1440 WROK every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for Navigating Retirement with Drew Seiler. So, Tyler, a very exceptional win here tonight for Guilford. They come on the road to Hononegah. You know, we were expecting a very tough Hononegah squad this season. perhaps middle of the conference, maybe creeping into that 3rd or 4th spot. You never know. But a 20-point victory here on the road. 2nd road victory of the young season for the Vikings. Looks like they might have another great path to pulling out another conference championship this season.
Yeah, Hononegah, just a little bit of a disappointment offensively. I mean, throughout the season so far, they've struggled in terms of putting up points. And Guilford, just an absolute dominating game by them. Being able to spread the ball, a lot of players able to contribute, a well-rounded game for them.
It'd be tough, you know. There's, like you mentioned, a lot of well-rounded players. But Tyler, if you had to name one player as the Busy Beaver Tree Care player of the game, who do you have your eye on?
So I'm going to go with the sophomore Brandon Chapman. He had 7 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds for the Guilford Vikings. That is my Busy Beaver Tree Care MVP of the game.
So thank you so much for joining us here on this broadcast. Again, final score 71-51, Guilford over Hononegah. For Tyler Fowler, I have been Trevor Larson. Want to thank you again so much for joining us here on Clutch Sports Media 815. Be sure to follow us on social media to see pictures and highlights from tonight's ball game and ball games from around the league. And be sure to tune in next week when we've got the Boylan Titans and the Jefferson Jayhawks. Till then, have a great evening.